everyone, hope that you're all doing well. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Vera Fojo and I am a registered dietitian. I'm also currently a lecturer and a PhD candidate. So I love communicating the importance of nutrition with everyone. And I also especially have a strong passion for promoting traditional African diets. So the reason why I decided to start this channel is because I've noticed, especially on social media, that there's a lot of misinformation regarding nutrition. And I feel like this channel is just going to be a safe space where I can communicate reliable, trustworthy, and scientific information regarding nutrition, as well as making it super simple. Okay, so for today, we are going to talk about fad diets. So I know you're probably wondering, what is a fad diet? So fad diet is a weight loss plan or a weight loss product that promises dramatic quick results. They typically do not result in long-term weight loss, and it can actually be very detrimental to one's health. The reason why I want us to have an open dialogue regarding what fad diets is, once again alluding to what I previously mentioned, is that there's just so much desperation. If you go on social media, you'll see that people are really desperate. People want to lose weight, which is a good thing, but that desperation tends to kind of, cloud people's judgments, and therefore they fall for all these fad diets that spreads a lot of false information regarding weight loss. Okay, so now we're going to look through some examples of fad diets that took place in the past, as well as what is currently taking place in the present. Starting off with the 1820s, where the predominant fad diet was none other than starvation. I mean, what better way to lose weight than to just not eat at all? Then we have in the early 1900s what we call the Fletcherizing diet. And for that diet, one would be required to chew, listen to this, to chew food 32 times and then spit it out. Imagine eating your favorite meal and then you have to chew it 32 times and then you have to spit it out. That's just torture. But anyway, that is what happened. Then in 1954, we have the tapeworm diet. So basically what would happen with that diet is that one would be required to swallow a pill, and the pill would have tapeworm eggs inside. So you'd swallow the pill and then the eggs would hatch inside you and then grow into tapeworms. Yes, you heard correctly, tapeworms. But basically, the whole thinking behind that diet is that you wouldn't lose any weight because the tapeworms would be eating everything that you're eating, because they would be having a feast inside your stomach. That is gross. Then we have the Sleeping Beauty diet, where people would be given sleeping pills in order to help them to pass out for long hours so that they do not eat, because obviously if you're sleeping, you cannot eat, and if you're not eating, you're not gonna gain weight. But now the only question I have regarding that is, what would happen when you actually wake up? Because I would imagine that you would be so hungry. That's what happened. And then if we fast forward to what is happening now in the 2000s, where companies are selling diet plans and products in the form of shakes or teas, all with the promise of weight loss. Now, the problem with these types of products and weight plans is that, number one, it's expensive. Secondly, there's usually little to no results, and it can also cause a lot of financial strain to families. Now, in a nutshell, the problem with fad diets is, number one, it causes a lot of confusion. Secondly, it spreads misinformation, and it also causes misinterpretation regarding certain nutritional concepts. And that's why it's so important for us to be aware of what these fad diets are so that we can stay clear from them. So now that we know some examples of fad diets, let's go into how we can recognize or identify fad diets. So the general rule of thumb is to stay away from diet plans or diet products that promises to do the following. So number one, it promises quick weight loss. Now, the problem with that is that it's important for you to remember that it usually takes a long time, or sometimes up to years, for us to put on unwanted weight, and therefore it's only natural that it should equally take as long or maybe a little bit shorter to lose that weight. So when it comes to weight loss, you want to lose it gradually and not rapidly in order for you to have lasting results. The second thing to look out for is if the diet eliminates an entire food group, and a good example of that is carbohydrates, for instance. So there are some fad diets where it requires you to eliminate carbohydrates completely. Now, the problem with that is when you decide to reduce your intake of carbs by reducing consuming foods that come from your grains or your fruits and your vegetables, you end up being deficient in important nutrients such as your antioxidants, also fiber, which is really important for our body, as well as vitamins such as vitamin A and C. Next, if it promises you weight loss without having to give up fatty foods or without having to lose weight, then yeah, it's definitely a fad diet. If it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. Next, if they base their claims on before and after photos. Now, I know we've seen that where you've got that girl or man who used to be this big and then all of a sudden they're that small. Yeah, be careful of that, and most of the times those photos are usually photoshopped. Then if they show testimonials from satisfied clients or experts, so-called experts in nutrition or science, be very wary of that. Most of the times they've just paid these clients or these so-called experts in nutrition or science. Next thing to look out for is if it limits your food choices and discourages a balanced nutrition by discouraging you from eating a variety of foods. That is definitely something that should ring a bell to make you realize that it's a fad diet. And then lastly, if it requires you to spend a lot of money on items such as seminars or pills or pre-packaged meals, then you know that it's a definite no-no and it's a fad diet. Okay, so I hope that you all learned something from the tips that I just shared regarding how to identify fad diets. Obviously, I haven't been through everything and there are definitely more. But in conclusion, just to wrap up everything that we've discussed today, fad diets are very real. It is a problem. And I don't foresee that it's going to be something that will leave very soon. So it's so important for us to stay woke and for us to be educated and informed about what these fad diets are, their purpose, and how it can actually be very detrimental to our health. Also remember that a lot of these companies and fad diets are all about making money. They don't, unfortunately, have our nutritional needs at heart, and that's something that you always have to factor in. So when you decide to embark on a weight loss journey, it's important for you to do the right thing and to go about it the right way by seeking the services of a registered dietitian or a registered nutritionist, as well as a professional trainer, so that you do not just lose weight, but so that you also gain lasting results. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please feel free to just make some comments in the comment section underneath. If you have any questions regarding what we spoke, please feel free to ask. And if you have any experiences with Fad Diets, please feel free to share your experiences with me. It's been a pleasure. I will see you next time.